Mm-hmm.
Yep.
while Sakura, Byakuya, and Toko chased after the suspect. When we got back to the nurse's office, we found Hifumi, dead.
Yep. Sounds about right.
And that's when we heard the body discovery announcement. I left Celeste and Hina there and headed back to the 3rd floor to let the others know what had happened.
Meanwhile, we had just discovered Taka's body in the equipment room.
Taco.
We must have found both bodies at almost exactly the same time.
Oh, wait. If you found them at the same time, then that means that... Oh my god. My third eye's been opened. I figured it out.
Because we heard the same announcement not long after we discovered his body.
And that's when I told you guys about Hifumi. Then the 3 of us headed for the nurse's office. But right after we
I've
left the
solved
physics
it.
lab, we ran into Celeste, who'd arrived after us.
I don't know
And she
who
told
did it
us
yet,
something very surprising.
but I do know what's been how Hifumi was moved. Hifumi's body has disappeared. Oh, that was Celeste.
We rushed
Oops.
back to the nurse's office and saw that she was right.
Then we
She was also the one
remembered
who discovered
we'd
that.
left Toko passed out in the equipment room, so we hurried back again.
This can't be happening. Are we hallucinating all this or something?
But when we got there, we discovered that now Taka's body had also gone missing. Next thing we knew, we were searching the school for 2 missing dead bodies. And after some time...
Celeste informed us that she'd found the bodies, and we all headed to the repository, which is where we rediscovered the corpses.
Corpse.
I think that about covers it.
I see. The whole thing sounds exceptionally complicated.
No kidding. But
It
I
certainly
figured
seems
out
to me
one
that
piece
these
of the
are not a
puzzle.
simple series of connected events.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
So-
well, if that's true, then what?
Rather than a single series of events, I think we have to consider each murder a separate situation. And from there, we can uncover the
makes sense.
contradictions surrounding all of them.
Yeah,
Now then, let's get started.
would help piecing
beginning
things
with what
together.
happened to Taka.
the contradictions between hidden in what happened to Taka. In order to uncover the truth of this case, I have to figure out no matter what. By Monokuma file. What?
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi.
That would
Or
make sense.
perhaps it was after?
No.
We already know what order they were killed in.
No, we
Taka
don't.
came last.
What makes you say that?
Oh, because the
Because of the
hammers.
numbering of the
Yeah.
Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer 3, while Taka's death came from a swing of Justice Hammer 4.
See? So it's obvious
What does
Taka
that
came
have to do with the
after.
Monokuma file, though? The Justice Hammers were numbered, but what if they were they really using that order?
So,
Okay.
Regarding Taka, I
the
wonder
what?
if, or perhaps it was. We already
That would
know
be a
what
bit
Taka
confusing.
came last.
What makes you say?
Because of the numbering of.
It's true that while Taka's
Oh wait, okay, I know what it is.
So it's obvious Taka came
I
after.
think. I think I know.
So, I wonder if, or perhaps it was. We already know what order they were killed in.
No? Okay. I thought it was gonna be like, oh, but it never deliberately says, so we can't assume that, or I don't know. Interesting.
so,
Regarding, I wonder if, or perhaps it was. We already know Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
Not that. What else is there then? What?
so,
Regarding, I wonder if, or perhaps it was. We already know Taka came last.
What makes you say?
Because of the number.
It's true that while Taka's death.
See? So it's obvious Taka came
What?
after.
Huh?
so, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died, or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came
Oh.
What makes you say
I
that?
forgot we could do that.
last. Because of the numbering of the Justice. No, it's wrong.
Hold on. There's no reason to assume that the hammers were used in the same order as their numbers. If anything, that's just another way the killer tried to disguise their actions.
So you're saying the culprit wanted us to think the hammers were used in order, but in reality, Taka was killed before Hifumi? Okay then, let's see the proof.
There's something that relates to what time he must have died. His watch. Oh, Hangman's Gambit. I forgot about this. Okay, yeah, it's wristwatch.
Now I understand.
Now I understand.
I've got it. Taka's wristwatch. See? Look. It broke with the hands pointing just past 6 o'clock.
It must have gotten broken when he was attacked by the killer. Because as of last night, so if it wasn't broken after 6 last night, then he must have been attacked around 6 this morning.
And that would be his official time of death.
But if that's true, then he was killed well before Hifumi.
And before Celeste was attacked this morning, which happened around 7.
That's right. Taka was killed before any of the other incidents took place.
That simple fact slipped past all of us. We made the wrong assumption about the order of events, all because of those justice hammers.
That's exactly why the culprit wrote the numbers on each hammer and had them increase in size. That way, when we saw how they were used in each incident, we'd easily make that wrong assumption.
Now, if
Yeah,
Taka
that
was
sounds about right.
killed around 6, then everyone's alibis for his murder go out the window. Because when he was killed, we hadn't met up in the dining hall yet.
That may be true in the case of Taka's murder. But all of our alibis still hold true for Hifumi's death.
That's right. With him, at least, we're all safe.
I don't think he was dead yet. What was that? That came from downstairs. It must have been. Hifumi's in the nurse's office. This is bad. Come on, we gotta go back.
When
He.
we heard Hifumi screaming, we were all together. Except for Hiro and Kyoko.
Well, we found that there was blood in the nurse's office, so he could have used that to make it seem like he was hurt. And then he cleaned it off of his glasses, went upstairs, moved Taka's body, and then I don't know. I just don't think he was dead yet.
Then we all ran down to the nurse's office, and that's where we found his body.
Unless they're trying to make it seem like he was still alive by, like, cleaning his glasses and then moving them, but I don't know.
That's totally true. We're all in the clear.
Oh, I know! They must have recorded him screaming on a tape or something, then played it later on!
If that's true,
Oh, but
where's
he was
the
still
tape?
alive.
I don't know.
Don't just go making stuff up.
Anyway, we all have
But
rock
he
solid
got up and
alibis for when we
talked
heard Hifumi
afterward.
scream.
When
Since all of
everyone-
us were there
when
together,
some of them were in the
clearly
room.
none of us could have
Yeah.
killed him.
And it does not stop there. There was also the moment when we discovered his body had disappeared. When his body
And
vanished
they
from the
said
nurse's
earlier
office,
that both, they found Taka and Hifumi's bodies at the same time initially. So it could have been Taka's body discovery announcement. And it just so happened that we thought it was Hifumi's because that's where we found Hifumi's body first.
Mm-hmm.
So they could have done that on
Hina and
purpose
I
to,
were in
like,
the bathroom together,
make it seem
while
that way.
everyone
I
else
don't
was
know.
in the equipment room. And then there's the disappearance of Taka's body from the equipment room. At that time, we were all gathered together in the nurse's office because of Hifumi going missing.
Well, don't forget, I was passed out in the equipment room the whole time.
Wait, then what if Genocide Jill did it? She could have dragged Taka's body out of there right then!
Even if she could pull that off,
Yeah, but
there's
why
no
would
way
she?
she could have done the same
she
with
be an
Hifumi's body.
accomplice?
Because, as we just established, she was passed out in the equipment room when his body disappeared.
And it wouldn't matter because she would have been an accomplice,
In
and that
other
does not
words,
matter for
it is
our
impossible that any of
purposes
us could
here.
have killed Hifumi or moved either of their bodies. On the other hand, Hiro and Kyoko had disappeared, so they most certainly could have done those things.
So what now, Kyoko?
For now, we can't get fixated on who did it, or we'll just keep going around in circles. So instead of who, I propose we start talking about how. In particular, I think we need to figure out how Hifumi's body got moved.
That's true. We searched everywhere, but we couldn't figure out how to explain his body disappearing. And according to what Celeste said,
He could not have been gone for more than a minute or two, though. So then the killer is able to get in and move Hifumi's body in that short amount of time? It would seem so.
his body apparently disappeared in the 1 minute her and Hina took their eyes off of it. But to carry that much weight from the first floor up to the third in that short amount of time?
Oh man,
Hifumi is big.
There's no way! It'd be impossible!
Well,
You
what
said
if I told you
impa,
there
and
was a
then I
way
thought
to make
imposter.
the impossible possible?
What? How?
If the dead body were to move itself.
Ooh! We were right.
Bum bum bum
the
bum
dead
bum
body
bum. He's
moved
still
on its own?
awake. He was not dead.
No! Not another ghost!
I don't think it has anything to do with the occult. I think what she's implying is, we thought Hifumi was dead, but perhaps in reality he was still alive.
He was alive?
Are you saying Hifumi wasn't carried out of the nurse's office, but simply walked out on his own?
But I mean, we found his body. He was dead.
Perhaps he was simply playing dead.
That it isn't possible.
The idea that Hifumi was still alive, is it really possible? Yes. Make your argument. Okay. Broken wristwatch. The heck?
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
But he spoke.
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Are you
Yeah.
saying that when we first
Okay.
found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that. Surely you heard the body that
Hifumi's dead body had been found.
What? I don't know. What? I don't understand.
Are you saying that when we first
Yeah.
found Hifumi, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
I think
No.
this is it.
It is impossible.
Hifumi was dead, and you know that. Surely you heard the body Hifumi's dead, and that is why.
Are we really? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone
No, that's
else's
not gonna be
discovery.
it. I don't know what it could be then. Oh wait, okay, never mind. I know. I think I know.
Are
I
you
think I've
saying that when we
weird.
there's a chance he...
No. Hifumi was dead, and you know that. Surely you heard the body Hifumi's dead, and that is. Are we real?
Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone
Else's discovery.
Are you saying that when we first there's a chance he...
No. Hifumi was dead, and you know that. Surely you heard the body Hifumi's
dead body had been.
There we go.
It's wrong.
I solved it.
Was the body discovery announcement that was made really intended for Hifumi?
Of course it was. The announcement played right after we discovered his body.
Maybe. But that was also the same time that Taka's body was found.
That's right. It wasn't long after finding his body that we heard the announcement.
So
So
there's
true.
a good chance we've made a mistake in there somewhere.
Good chance, more like you did.
I think we've confused whether the announcement was for Hifumi or
Because
Taka.
whenever we found them in the whatchamacallit room where they stayed, that's whenever another announcement played. So that was Hifumi's. Oh my god, my back. Okay.
First of all, if 2 bodies had been found, there really should have been 2 announcements.
Yeah.
Maybe Monokuma simply got lazy and rolled them together into one.
What do you say, Monokuma? Any comment?
Well, it's a very sensitive issue, so I can't go into too much detail. But what I can say about the body discovery announcement is that it's only broadcast when 3 or more people find a dead body for the first time.
That didn't answer our question, man. We're asking if you're a lazy bum.
No, actually, that was plenty. He said it's only broadcast when a body is discovered for the first time, which means even if we find the same body again later, he won't make the announcement again.
But they did. But he did anyway.
That's true. Then why was the announcement made again
Yeah.
later on?
Huh? Later on?
Exactly. We heard the body discovery announcement twice.
Genius. Second body discovery announcement. The first time it played was second time was when both bodies were discovered.
We heard it a second time in the repository, when we rediscovered the 2 bodies.
Ding dong, ding dong. Your body has been discovered. After a certain amount of time, which you may use however you like, the class trial will begin. Jesus.
It didn't seem weird at the time, but it contradicts what Monokuma just told us, doesn't it?
Exactly. If we were actually rediscovering both bodies, the announcement shouldn't have played.
And in reality, when the 2 dead bodies were rediscovered, one of them was actually being discovered for the first time.
So, when we found Hifumi the first time in the nurse's office, he wasn't actually dead yet. Meaning, he wasn't actually found dead until we came upon him in the repository.
And that's just part of it. There's one other thing that leads me to believe he was still alive in the nurse's office.
Oh, I know! Because he was super good at playing dead! Bada bing, bada boom!
That is the
I
worst
hate
logic I have
Toko.
ever heard.
Very much.
But honestly, I do not think there's anything that can prove he was still alive.
Okay then, let's take another look at the events surrounding the discovery of his body. Then it should become clear whether he was really alive or not.
This whole thing is pointless.
There has to be proof that Hifumi is still alive. I know what it was. Yes. Exactly. Boom. Easy dub.
Well, here's one thing we do know. The first time we found Hifumi's body was in the nurse's office. And then, while me and Celeste were in the back, his body disappeared.
And the next time we saw his body, it was in the repository.
But when you compare his body before being moved and his body after being moved, other than the change in how it was positioned, there was no notable difference.
No, that's wrong. In fact, there was one clear difference between Hifumi in the nurse's office and the repository. His glasses. That fact alone proves that he was only playing dead in the beginning.
Perhaps you'd like to fill the rest of us in?
When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, his glasses were covered with blood. But when we found him again later in the repository, they were spotless. And I found the item he used to wipe them clean in the nurse's office trash can.
The glasses cleaner.
I got it! It was a glasses cleaning cloth featuring a certain cartoon mascot. One look at the bloodstain on the cloth should make things clear. This piece of cloth was used to wipe Hifumi's glasses clean. And the mascot on the cloth is the same one that's on the digital camera, right? And whose digital camera was it? Hifumi's, of course.
The character was Princess Piggles. From Demon Angel Pretty Pudgy Princess, I think.
The way she said it.
I highly doubt anyone but Hifumi would have brought something like this to school.
I see your point. And the only people here who wear glasses are...
I wouldn't be caught dead using a tacky piece of garbage like that.
Exactly.
A few tissues is all I need to keep my glasses clean.
Then there's no question. It belonged to Hifumi.
So what you're saying is... What exactly?
What I'm saying
That
is,
Hifumi was alive,
the
you
blood on
idiot.
his glasses was wiped
He's too
away
dumb to
using his
kill
own
someone.
glasses
Oh.
cleaning cloth.
Even if that is true, it does not mean he wiped the blood off himself.
But who would benefit from a clean pair of glasses other than the glasses owner?
That's a good point.
Then it must have been him, right?
So let's assume that Hifumi was still alive in the nurse's office. He pretends to be dead. Then when he's alone, he wipes his glasses clean so he can see. Then he stands up and walks out on his own 2 feet. And with that, the impossible task of moving his copious corpse becomes possible, wouldn't you say?
But then, if he was just pretending to be dead, what was with all that blood? Was it paint or something?
Blood from the nurse's office.
The fridge in the nurse's office contains
Yeah.
packs of blood for emergencies. He probably used one of those.
He figured if he was
Morbius
gonna play dead, he
reference.
should go all out, so he just dumped
So
it
true.
everywhere. But he got crazy with it and had to wipe his glasses off when he was done. God, what an idiot!
And if Hifumi was still alive
You know,
at that point, the
she
disappearance
hates
of
Hifumi
Taka's
too, so
body
I
is
think
easily
Taco's
explained.
Toko is pretty chill.
It
Jesus, they
should be
have their
perfectly
names are too
obvious
similar.
who must have moved
I'm
Taka's
confused.
corpse.
Taka's body was
I
Hifumi.
got it!
I had to reread the question.
Only
I wasn't
have
paying
been
attention.
Hifumi.
While we were all gathered in the nurse's office, he went to the equipment room and took Taka's body.
That also explains how the door to the repository got locked.
The door was locked? Well, after the bodies disappeared, we all went looking for them, right? So me and Sakura headed for the repository. But when we got there, the door was locked.
And the repository door can only be locked from the inside. Which means when Hina and Sakura got to the repository, someone was already inside.
And it could only have been Hifumi, who just finished stashing Taka's body there.
He convinced us all he was dead, and when he saw his chance, he dragged Taka's body to the repository. So, Hifumi wasn't just another victim in this case. He was one of the assailants.
But that means he took part in the murders.
I just can't believe it.
If you're having trouble, would you like me
And
to
he
show
was
you
a
one
simp
more
for
piece of
Celeste. Oh
evidence?
my god.
It all makes sense.
Oh, absolutely. The
coming
single
together.
biggest fact pointing to his involvement has yet to be revealed. You know what I'm talking about, right, Makoto? The
Okay.
item he took off of Taka's lifeless body?
Oh, the piece of paper.
I got it!
So, thinking
Talking
about
the
it,
note Hifumi had hidden away, aren't you?
if you were to have someone kill someone for you, the person who killed them is still the one who did it, and you would just become an accomplice still.
So they were both blackened.
So, is it that Hifumi killed Tako and then Celeste killed Hifumi to make her the only blackened left?
Yeah, because
Hidden
she
notes?
wanted to make things more
That's right.
complicated,
We found
Yeah.
it stuffed in his pants.
so she could possibly hide that she was actually someone who did it.
It all makes sense.
Yes, his pants.
I don't like the way that the line was delivered.
Okay, well,
Me
forget
neither.
about the pants for now. Take a look at what the note
Thank God
says.
Sakura's chill and not weird like Toko and Hifumi.
Uh-huh.
Monokuma can't find out, so I don't think, so don't tell anyone for now. Let's meet in the equipment room at 6 a.m.
That's the note I was telling you about. The one that told me where to go. Huh? Wait, this one's a little different. In my note it said, Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the rec room at 1 a.m.
I see. Then this note isn't the same one Hiro got.
It's not the same?
In other words, the killer got in touch with another person besides Hiro. And that person could only have been...
His pants.
I got it!
I like that one.
That's right.
Yeah, that
Fumi's
was
pants.
The killer used this note to draw out Taka
He got in
and murder
contact
him.
with.
Hello,
Oh,
over
I don't
here.
like that
Objection,
line out of
objection!
context.
I don't really understand what's
That
going
makes it
on,
awful.
but Hifumi had that letter, right? So whoever wrote it wasn't drawing out TikTok, they were drawing out Huffy!
Oh, TikTok.
Just to be clear, TikTok is Taka and Huffy is Hifumi, right?
Ugh, yes! Why must you ruin it every time?
Man, Genocide Jack is seriously scary, but still, I can't let her. Why is it that half of the cast, half of the time calls her Genocide Jack, and the other half they call her Genocide Jill? Can we just decide on a name, please?
Because she wants to be called Genocide Jill, and some of them just refuse
No,
to.
but like, I swear to God, at least some of the characters who have called her that before also have like switched their opinion. Like they've like called her Genocide Jack and Jill at some point, and it annoys me.
Right? Then the person it was intended for must have been Huffy!
But remember what the note said.
Yeah, the broken wristwatch.
What time did it say to meet?
6 a.m.
The time doesn't matter! The note has nothing to do with TikTok!
Oh, whoops. I didn't mean to right click, I'm an idiot. The broken wristwatch said 6 a.m. when he died. I think it was 6 a.m.
No, there absolutely is a connection.
It was pointed to 6. And they
What the
said,
hell are you
oh
talking
yeah, it
about?
could be AM. It could only be AM because it was working and it was
Wait a
back
minute.
after 6 p.m. the day before.
Celeste could have continued the murder then, because Hifumi only killed one person. Assuming we're correct. So couldn't have Celeste killed Hifumi and then someone else if she wanted to
said
like,
it
make it even
happened
more
at
confusing?
7. Yeah, she could have.
The note said to meet at 6 a.m.
So they could have
which is the same time
theoretically
Taka
killed
was murdered.
4 people.
Jeez.
So like that's insane actually.
We've already proven that using his wristwatch. But there's more. Look where the note says to meet. The equipment room, right?
Which is where Taka was killed. I see.
Taco.
So, Taka was murdered
Sad.
at both the time and
Yeah.
place written in the note. I think that should be plenty to show that this note was definitely meant for Taka.
Well, when you put it like that... No further objections!
Then someone used that note to trick Taka. Just the same as me. The culprit really is a cold-blooded monster. Telling people they found a way out.
But if they gave the note to Taka, what was
Well-
Hifumi doing with it?
Celeste was the one who said adaptation is key and that we have to just get used to living here. So she could have just been lying about that though. To be like, haha, I'm calm and collected when in reality she's not.
Stuff down his pants, no less!
Poker face.
Yeah.
Most likely, Hifumi stole it off Taka's corpse after he died.
I mean, gambler.
He stole it?
Makes sense.
Where's your proof? Go ahead, show us.
The piece that was in Taco's hands.
I got it! When I searched Taka's body, I saw that his lifeless hand was gripping a small scrap of paper. If I'm right about this, the sheet of paper this piece came from is... I knew it! It fits perfectly with the note we found hidden on Hifumi.
Then Taka's scrap and Hifumi's note.
Yup, they're from the same piece of paper.
Hifumi had the note meant for Taka, while Taka's corpse still grasped a small piece of that note. There's only one way to explain it.
Taka died clutching the note. Hifumi tried to free the note from his death grip, leaving behind only one small scrap. Did I get all that right?
That means Hifumi knew the note was important.
Exactly. Which proves that he was an accomplice in the murder.
Whoa. Yeah. After seeing all this, Hifumi was super involved in this whole thing for sure. In fact, He was behind the whole thing. In fact, he's still alive.
So that's
Sorry, no. When we found him in the repository, Hifumi was truly and completely dead. The second body discovery announcement proves that.
Celeste could have hidden in that room and then waited for them to open the door to come in, and then she could have just pretended like she just went into. Well, no, because she went after us and told us that she found them both. So she is just like suspect number one because she just like makes everything super obvious. And I get it that like they haven't realized yet because at the time they were panicking, so it made sense that they want to be like, hey, that's kind of weird, but like you think now they would be like,
So then, who killed Hifumi?
Whoever did is the mastermind.
Yep.
The true killer.
I know
was
who it
killed in the
is.
repository. So he must have been killed not long after transporting Taka's body.
So, he must have been killed after Taka's body vanished, but before we found both bodies in the repository.
During that time, we'd all split up and were searching for Taka's missing body. In other words, during that time, none of us have alibis.
Wait, but me and Sakura were together. Stop trying to steal the spotlight, you stupid walrus!
What?
Who are you calling a walrus?
Anyway, when they were killed bothers me too.
because she
But there's
swims.
something that's been
Therefore,
bothering
she
me
even
even
more
more.
Oh,
walrus.
that makes
I guess.
sense.